Classes at Hoërskool Jan Viljoen in Randfontein are being held online this week while authorities investigate racism allegations there. This is after a fight broke out between learners last week. Gauteng Education MEC Panyaza Lesufi is also expected to hold a meeting with parents tomorrow. The South African Human Rights Commission has also entered the fray. They've also been called in to investigate these claims. Now, one parent, Nelisiwe Mthethwa, says her children have recently started to complain about racism. She joins us now to give us a recollection of her experience at the school. And Nelisiwe, thanks for making time. It's so lovely to have you on the program on this Wednesday morning. I understand that your child is now currently in grade 11 at the school. Are you able to get us a sense of when you think the issues around race began?
They began at the time when they started introducing an English class to the school. I have a second daughter who was attending at Hoërskool Jan Viljoen. She always complained about racism in the school, especially when black learners started speaking vernacular in the class. The teacher would always call them forward and give them an Afrikaans textbook so that they read throughout the day. I think about that a lot.
Right. Help us understand how the school is viewed, generally speaking, by not only parents like you who have children going there, but the community around it. Is this an institution that had always had concerns around how their race relations are faring?
Yes, because right now this matter has our children speaking out. It is a very serious matter that I don't think, especially speaking from for myself, if my daughter had not been in grade 11, I would have removed her from the school because we pay a lot of amount of money for the treatment they give our kids. The reputation of the school is now in the mud because of how they handled, especially Friday's situation. They decided to isolate the child instead of disciplining the white child. They isolated him, they locked him up in a classroom, and then they took care of the child's needs instead of disciplining the child. That says a lot about the teachers as well.
Yeah. You know, typically you'd expect the SGB to be involved in kind of mediating complaints, which not only come from you, but several other parents we've spoken to. What do you know about how proactive the SGB itself is? And do you even know what the composition of this body is like?
I have not received any comments or feedback from the SGB. We don't know at this point what the school will be doing to come with a solution to this. Instead, we do know that Mr. Lesufi said that by Friday he will tell us what solution they're coming up with and what will happen to the learner that violated a young girl. He deliberately slapped a girl, of which that is also coming across as gender-based violence. So the school on its own, we don't know how or what it does to discipline the learners and
Oh, what a pity. It looks like we've lost our connection to Nelisiwe Mthethwa there. She's a parent at Hoërskool Jan Viljoen to a grade 11 pupil, and I think another child goes there. And Nelisiwe, I understand your connection has been re-established. Apologies there. You were still explaining this undertaking by the MEC to give you some kind of feedback on Friday.
Yes, we are still waiting for the MEC to give us feedback on Friday. If that does not happen, I believe the protest will still go on because as a parent who pays fees to the school, I expect a lot from the school. And it's not like my expectations. I am very disappointed from what happened on Friday and how parents were chased off with rubber bullets and how our learners were chased off by security with water. Our learners, the black learners were splashed with water on Friday for protesting, for raising their voices and speaking out to the treatment they've been receiving in the school.
Yeah, and how have the children there been affected by that? How has your daughter, for instance, been affected by what took place earlier this week?
She is badly affected. It's a traumatic event. I'm speaking from the apartheid era, they were not around when this happened. Children born after the year 2000 were not there. They did not experience what we as parents and what our mothers and grandfathers experienced back then. So it's a traumatic experience for her to now experience this on her own. It's very traumatic because I think as parents we need to teach our children, educate our children that it's not wrong to see a person with a different skin color as yours and treat them differently. I believe that parents should start educating their children about racism and skin discrimination. It's not wrong to see, just because I'm white, I now have to treat a black person wrongly. We all have rights. We all have rights, and we now live in a more democratic country.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you meant there that it's not necessarily right to be treating people differently because of their skin color, but I certainly capture your sentiment. Help me understand what you feel should happen next as a parent at that school. There have been all kinds of demands, including for the principal to be sacked, I mean, this child at the center of this issue to also be suspended. What for you as a parent is the right way forward?
I think learners who are more racist should be, I think serious repercussions need to be taken at school. If a learner comes across as racist, they need to be either expelled or dismissed from the school. Because as parents, I include white parents, white and black parents, we all pay the fees for our children to receive better education. But I don't think better education will be there if my child goes to school and your child comes and bullies my child. That affects them badly, even on their academics. So I believe that the school needs to dismiss and expel learners that still go on with racism, because we like, this is a generation where there needs to be freedom. And I'm still at shock. I am very at shock when I learn that racism is still an ongoing thing in our country. It's something I thought that we have all have gone past through, but it's still going, and now it's going on in our schools.
Absolutely. And the kind of accountability that should take place for teachers?
Teachers need to also be dismissed from the school for the way they handle the situation. Like, for instance, what happened on Friday, the white learner was taken away from the black learners and locked in a class. They kept him safe. Like I said, they took care of his needs and not they never checked how the black learner was doing. Instead, they took care of his needs. Teachers like that do not belong in a school because they do not promote equality. Equality is very important in schools.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm interested to find out how you think, especially government should be intervening here in a context where, in the past, we'll hear of this kind of outrage that takes place. We speak to you and many other parents on the TV. Time passes, but the culture at the school itself doesn't necessarily change. And I wonder what you reckon it will take to pull that off, to change at the very least the culture there, as opposed to just removing individuals.
Racism is a pandemic on its own that will not end until we teach our learners about it. Because, like I said, they were not there when it happened. They only hear it from us, and it's up to us as parents to how we bring it across our children. So I still think that the white group explains it, and that makes it more. The children become more aggressive towards it. I believe the government should bring across schools and educate, bring up, and especially to dismiss teachers and learners that are still with racism. I think that will fix a lot of issues regarding racism.
Yeah. Nelisiwe Mthethwa, thanks very much indeed for your take. Really do appreciate your time on this Wednesday morning. Nelisiwe is a concerned parent at Hoërskool Jan Viljoen, and of course there's a whole list of reasons why she may be worried. In fact, her daughter is in grade 11 there, and is one of the individuals who feels hard done by the institution at the very least because of the color of her skin. Well, we know that several meetings are set to take place. One of those meetings includes a gathering between the Education ABC in Gauteng, that's Panyaza, Lesufi, and some parents. I imagine Nelisiwe will be there. We'll continue getting a sense of what is being said as soon as that information is available to us.